Welcome to Work the Left Side. We are hyper hyped to have tonight's guests back. I am talking to Mr. Harvey Dukes and the one and only Deck Hendry. It is, of course, the '05. Gentlemen,
Oh,
are you good?
all well. How are you?
As always, 5x5, too blessed to be stressed.
Hell
Hey,
yeah.
man.
So, I mean, obviously, yeah, like I sort of said, this is your return. We've spoken before. Loved having you guys on last time. I don't speak to enough tag teams, so it's always really cool when I get to sort of speak to a couple of. If there's two other people, it means I have to talk less. So that makes me happy. So yeah, two more guests. But yeah, you've been busy, man, since we last spoke. Obviously, I've done a new intro reel for the episode. Got some footage off you, matey. Dude, obviously tag team champs now as well.
Oh, it is good. Oh, he's glad.
It's like tag champs. Nah, mate, I'm off. See you later. I'll come back up in a second. This is the joys of not doing it live. You see, I can just edit this out afterwards. Oh, he's back. He's back. Oh, he was back. There we go. He's back. Harvey.
Hello.
You didn't take offense to me calling you tag team champs, did you?
Hello. Sorry, I had to run away then.
We good?
Yeah, man. Sorry about that.
No, I don't apologise, but it's fine. I just thought he's finally taking offence to me mispronouncing his surname. He's like, no, I said I'm out.
Yeah, no. I've had enough. Forget this second episode. No chance.
We're gone. But yeah, so as we were sort of saying, obviously, man, yeah, winning the FutureShock titles and in such a manner as well, man. That match was huge. Obviously, big names. Obviously, yourself and FTM, but those big names at ringside giving you the belts, mate. That must have felt huge.
Yeah, it was an unreal feeling. To be fair, like even that. We got some stories of like backstage, which is insane. Like when you think about, we was just hanging around with, obviously, like it was insane who we was with anyway. But wandering through before we were going down for our match was Paige, right? Just chilling there, and she said to us, "Have a good match, boys." What the hell, bro? That was just insane.
Crazy. Unreal. And like then we had RVD. So this was after we won the belts. And he just come through. He turned to us. He went, "Have you guys seen Sandman?" And he was just like, "No." That was quite funny.
Like that day is just full of like those like little stories. Which
it's crazy. It's a weird one.
I'm getting something you couldn't even have imagined. When you guys got started. Being
Genuinely.
in that situation.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Because obviously, I'm a smidge older than you guys. Christy Hemme for me was like one of my first, like when she first turned up in WWE, then TNA. It's one of the reasons I used to watch TNA back in the day. So yeah, that's what I was like, oh, dude. I'd be like, I couldn't even concentrate on a match. I'd have just lost the, like anything that might have been discussed beforehand. I'm like, no, my mind's just blank. I'm just like that. Oh, right, shit, I've just been tagged. Right, no, you keep going. I'm just going to stand here and watch.
That's
Melina was not a fan whatsoever of my facial hair.
And I don't blame her.
She was a big hater.
Well, it's not everybody's got the same sort of taste, but she was a big Dave fan. It's just maybe she just likes the bold and rugged, or I don't know, man. Just you can't please everyone.
No.
So, but yeah, obviously since we last talked, we talked FutureShock. There was the infamous. I think last time we spoke, since the last time you spoke, you took part in the infamous 8 tag tournament.
Yep.
Mate, that was amazing as well. So again, just to kind of highlight the awesomeness in the tag division in your area alone. It's just that's made up of so many quality teams.
Yeah, there's so many of us. Like, it's crazy. It's to see we've got obviously ourselves, FTM. Obviously, we'll always class Act 2 as being the Northwest boys, even though they're down there in the Midlands. They're up here. I don't care. Obviously, you got the Quinlands. But no, there's a lot of tag teams like based in the Northwest now, and I think we've got the best tag division around here. Like in our like area of the Northwest, I think we've got the best tag division in the UK.
I'd agree with that.
Ooh, see, I'm trying to think whether I can actually sort of rebuttal that and give you some. I suppose I'm better because obviously I'm based in Leeds. Anybody that listens around here will be like, "Oh, what about Misery Business? What about this team, the Freak Show?" Or I'm trying to think of another pressure's on. I'm like, I can't think of any tag teams. Why can I not think of any tag teams? But you know what? I'll clip this little bit and we'll put it out there. We'll let people discuss it in the comments. That's what I like to do. Start a conversation. Give us your favourite tag teams. But I'm a massive mark for the Northwest. You guys, massive advocate for the scene over there. I think everybody, I'm a massive fan of Infamous, Atomic, FutureShock, Wrestle Island. It's all good stuff over there. So I'm not going to argue it. I'll let other people maybe counterpoint it.
That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, obviously, like I said, FTM though seemed to be like looking through cage match, looking through the previous matches, looking at the reels. They seem to be like, if I called you guys the Hardy Boys, they're your Edge and Christian.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I can agree with that.
It certainly feels that way.
Fight forever.
Yeah, it's like we've wrestled them 13 times, I believe, since we debuted. So we debuted at back end of 24. Yeah, obviously, we're nearly halfway through 26. So it's a lot of matches crammed into, nearly 2 years.
I want them to go away.
Yeah.
Biggest compliment I can give you guys though is I've seen, probably not seen all of them, but I've seen a good chunk of the matches, and they never feel repetitive. They never feel like I'm watching the same match again.
Yeah, we do try to. It does get so real hard though, like because there's only so many times we can do a unique match with those two.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
But I do wish they would go away.
I think it was during the Infamous. I watched that many matches. I can't remember exactly which one it was. It was when you guys were fighting on a match against Act 2. It was at Infamous. But it was weird because I kind of, obviously both teams went into it. You would have both been kind of baby faces. Whereas like Act 2 kind of turned heel. They kind of took that persona.
Yeah.
And then you guys kind of just shone as the baby faces.
Yeah, that was a really fun match. So we've wrestled Act 2 twice now. So obviously the first time was at Infamous, and then the second time was at This Is Wrestling. Both matches were like really good. Obviously, first time out in at Infamous against Act 2 as well. So it was one of them, and it went smoothly too. Like the match was good. Great feedback when we got backstage as well. So overall, fun.
Well, I kind of got that vibe coming out on the scooters. Just be like, let's just have a laugh.
Yeah, you know what? I forgot about that. That was that was a weird little phase of trying the scooters out. I think it's in like the lobby somewhere still, so it's still about. But whether we bring them back is a mystery.
Special occasions, the big shows when you got a massive ramp to the ring. Like Undertaker style.
We could have done it. We could have done it for Full of Wrestling. Like we really could have. One of us get Christy Hemme on our backs and we just straight down. Or get her own as well.
She is a biker. She is a biker chick. She could have she could have just kind of should appreciate the transport.
Exactly.
Mate, I've got to see you guys busting down a ramp now at somewhere, just on your scooters.
Let's make it happen. Anyone with a ramp, get all of us.
Just for that reason. That's it.
Put the 05 now at gmail.com. There you go. Get on us.
Scooters included.
Yeah, exactly. Including the price as well. So, we're there.
Cheeky bonus, quality match and a memorable entrance. 2 for 1.
Yeah, exactly.
So you mentioned For the Love of Wrestling, obviously, the other, again, very similar to like the winning the FutureShock titles, just having everybody around, just the acknowledgement that, you're part of that same journey, you're part of that same, you're all doing the same thing, you're all professional wrestlers, regardless of where you are on the ladder, you're all part of that same community.
Yeah.
It's got to be medal, man.
It's nice, like winning the belts and then going backstage, everyone being backstage, everyone being like, well done. It's like, it was a weird feeling to say the least, It's our first belts as well. It's like as soon as we won them, like obviously Depp was on the pin, I was guarding in a sense. I absolutely dropped dead. But then it's like we had that little moment where as soon as the bell rang and like the match was done, we looked at each other and kind of like nodded our heads and we've done it. It's over now, We've done what we wanted to do at FutureShock for so long and like many years of training with them and seeing different people win the belts like the Young Guns, like Meatwagon, even FTM to a point of being like we've trained with them from when we got back. And it was one of them where it was like, seeing them winning was like, right, well, we need to kind of get onto this now. And, long behold, we were the ones to actually dethrone them. So, yeah, it was a really nice feeling.
It's because, again, it depending on wrestling, depends on your viewpoint. Obviously, belts. For me, belts, are huge. Belts mean something. They're not just a prop for a storyline. Belts are an acknowledgement. They're vindication for all the hard work. They're a promotion, trusting you to lead that division. To be the faces of the tag team division. So I could, watching the match, I could kind of tell, the genuine emotion. Especially Deckman, he was just kind of like, well, both of you just looked genuinely gobsmacked and emotional to have won the belts.
Yeah. It felt that way anyway. I think there was a plan for like a little pose on the stage, but I took so long in that celebration. We completely missed that bit. But I wouldn't change it as well. I wouldn't, because what you were saying of it being raw emotion, it was.
I mean, you could see that. Obviously, the fans in attendance would have seen that. I picked up on it, just watching the match. So I could only just, imagine being there in person. It'd just be like, just like I say, it's a promotion trusting you, seeing in you like these guys are good. They put the effort in. You are the faces of the tag division now. So no pressure or anything, like. But I mean, yeah, bosh.
Yeah, no, that's one of them again. It's like it's one of them feelings where as a kid, you grow up watching all these big stars. You watch the Hardy Boys win the belts. It's like when they returned at Mania to win the tag belts. That's more of our generation of the Hardy Boys in comparison, to before we was born. But it's one of them where it's like they won the belts, and now we're kind of following in the footsteps of someone who has won belts and replicating that same moment that they had, but turn it into our own little thing. So it's one of them. Like Deck said, it was raw emotion. Like the good thing about that moment, it was real. It weren't where we kind of put it on where, yes, we've just won the belts. It was like genuine emotion. Like I started crying in the ring, then I'd stop and then I'd cry again. And then we walked out the ring. And it was one of them where I couldn't quite find a balance of emotions. It was just a wave of one. But yeah, like going back to obviously being now the faces of the tag division, it's one of them now where the competition's, all around us to still be the faces of the tag division. So it's something now where I feel like we're going to rise to rather than cower away from.
Yeah. Lead by example.
Exactly. 100%.
Obviously, FutureShock, I think, they'd had a good year last time we spoke. But, man, the last 12, 18 months, FutureShock have just leveled up a few times. And, 2025 was an amazing year for them as a promotion and for everybody involved. You guys must be feeling that energy.
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
And, again, just put it, you're at the top of that division. Probably the best FutureShock's been for, I don't think you could argue that FutureShock is the best it's ever been right now. And the champions that they've got now, just held in that regard. But like I said, the competition is going to be fierce. You got so many teams coming after you. Anybody that you haven't faced yet that you're kind of thinking like, you know what, that would be a good kind of title defense. Anyone from my neck of the woods, any tag teams from over here that you're aware of that you're thinking, you know what, I wouldn't mind giving them a bit of a slap.
That's a good question. Like you mentioned them earlier, obviously Misery Business. I feel like we could do a bit of something with them. That would be cool. But I feel like if you're looking at the FutureShock Tag Division now, there's two brothers coming up called the Tevlins. We're yet to face them, but I reckon we'd give them a good little slapping.
Yeah.
They need it. I feel like they're getting a bit too big for the boots. So it's one of them now where we can kind of, knock them down a peg or two.
In an educational kind of way, like you're not quite here yet. Just calm your passions.
Yeah, it's just settle the score a little bit and be like, right, you're good. Don't get me wrong, but we need to, chop you down a little bit, get you back to speed, and then we can move on from that.
Say that, I'm thinking, just like again, I get inside my own head. I start fantasy booking things. I'm looking now like, powers that be, Franco Fate and Brad Matthews versus the 05, speed versus strength. Cool. Yeah, that'd be a challenge.
Yeah, it's one of them now where I feel like we're getting around the Northwest really quickly now. Obviously 2026 is kind of flown as bookings are coming like quickly and like they're flying at us now, which is a nice feeling. To say we've not even hit 2 years yet, and we're already getting these big bookings and people telling us they want to see us face teams down south or like say down in your ends. So it's one of them now where we need to try and venture out of the Northwest a little bit more, and see where we can end up.
Yeah, that's it though. Like you sort of said, you've got the bookings coming in. Obviously, that's I can't remember. I should have rewatched the first episode to kind of see what we talked about because networking is something that always kind of comes up in loads of episodes, kind of thing, and people keep telling me how important networking is. But what you guys are doing, like saying you're getting your name out there, you're networking, it shows with loads of other people who get to see what you can do, and then word spreads. And then, like I say, you start getting the bookings, and it starts getting to be a case of like, you know what, I'm not free. I'm actually, I'm booked. Your diary's getting filled up 6-8 months in advance. So you're networking, which is, the key thing.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's like, see, I think a lot of people find it difficult to network, because of travel and stuff. Don't get me wrong, like cost and money is probably one of the biggest pains that you'll ever find. Unless you're absolutely loaded, then you're flying. But obviously, just trying to work a part-time job, also trying to be a professional wrestler and do all these things, it gets in the way. It's like it's happened to me in debt quite a lot.
Yeah.
Job will come into, and it's kind of one of them where we've told work that we're ill too many times to keep using that excuse. Especially Deck, like that's Deck's go-to thing. Every time we've got a show and he can't book it off, it's I'm ill on the day, sorry. I hope no one's watching this from your work, mate. You know, put you in a rough one there. But yeah, it's one of them. It's just, I feel like for anyone coming up, just get yourselves about as quickly as possible to different venues. Offer you know, help. Off to set up the ring, put chairs out. Yeah, just do what you can now, and then when you're on shows, it'll pay off massively.
100%.
They obviously talk, you know, all the success with the tag teams and stuff like that. We was talking about it before we hit record. Obviously, you know, you was at Wrestle Island, Harvey yesterday. Yesterday. I've lost track of days.
Yeah, yesterday.
And Deck, I saw you've got a singles match announced against the other one half of FTM. So you still can't escape him in the singles division.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was at Crackdown the other week. They're another one that I enjoy doing them shows. It's a real laugh. And it is. I don't get. There isn't a chance often where I get to wrestle on my own. It is weird, real weird. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like this. I keep looking. Like I keep looking, try and reach, and then I have to realize like I'm on my own here.
It's like a phantom limb syndrome. You know, like when people sort of say they've lost part of the body, and it's like they can still feel it. They're looking for it. It's like, no, it's not there. Like you're looking for your tag team partner. It's like, oh shit, no, they're not there.
This is exactly that.
I was gonna say it must be weird. Like, so say, you know, you're just kind of going into from tag teams. But yeah, obviously we mentioned Wrestle Island. Harvey, you rocked up yesterday. You was one of the mystery announcements at yesterday's Island show. A lot of love for Wrestle Island. I think they're amazing. So yeah, dude, was that experience everything it should have been?
It was fun. It was one of them. Obviously, I think it's the first time I've debuted in a company without Deck. So as Deck was saying, then it's a bit of a weird one. It's like, you know, I'd walked to the shop before the show, and you know, Deck's not with me. I'm walking to the shop on my own. You know, so it was a bit of a weird one, but yet again, it's you know, kind of put not only my foot in the door, but Deck's also. You know, I come out representing the 05 as always. So it was one of them. It was a really good experience. But obviously, like I put on my story, I'm next time I'm there, I'm not coming alone. So, you know, anyone in Wrestle Island, whether it be Quintessential, VGS, you know, Charlie Main and Dan, anyone who wants it, come get it. And even if so, we'll bring the belts with us. We'll defend the belts. So.
See, we talk about people from over my neck of the woods. This is a weird area because they're known, they work Wrestle Island, but they are Leeds boys. We're talking the prime time Mafia, obviously Billy O'Keefe, J. Rowe Lewis. That is a match I would be hyped to sort of see. And yeah, they're definitely, even though they are Island OGs, they are Leeds boys. So I would count that as, crossing the borders.
Yeah, there's another one where, you know, like I say, anyone past the president of Wrestle Island, if you want it, come get it. Simples.
But yeah, VGS as well, that would be awesome. Massive fan of VGS. I think you guys would just be like
two big boys, you know. But yet again, I reckon we'll boot them down to size, do them over, you know. Easy.
Again, I'm going to stay partial on this one because I've had Casey Payne and Tommy on here before, so I've kind of got to. I'll be Switzerland. I'll be on the fence. I'll get splinters.
No, it's one of them. It's two different dynamics again, where it's two big lads against, you know, us two, where we're more fast, whereas they're more, you know, they'll pick you up and absolutely launch you and lob you into the crowd. So it'd be a cool match to kind of, you know, look at in a perspective way.
It would be a bit different because obviously, like I said, you know, we're reeling off like, you know, Act 2, FTM, you know, the different kind of teams you go up against on a sort of semi-regular basis. And yeah, it'd be kind of cool to see, like sort of said, because that's, to me, that's like wrestling 101. That's your David versus Goliath. That's your speed versus strength. Like you sort of said, you know, they'd pick you up and throw you around, but they got to catch you first. You know, that's the story. That's the kind of like the match to be had. Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's like we don't really come across bigger teams in the sense of size. Like the only team we faced really where has been, a bit of a difference in size was Meatwagon. After Anderson obviously retired, unfortunately, we got to wrestle them a few times, which was nice. We got to wrestle them. It was mainly at FutureShock. We wrestled them once at Infinite as well.
I was gonna say it was at Infinite. I did a reel for that match. I remember watching that match. And
you did. Yeah. That was fun.
Again, yeah, that was it. That's a prime example. I was trying to. I remember sort of seeing it somewhere, but I can't remember what it was. And then, you mentioned that. It was just like, those two. You just like you said, just nipping around. Perfect psychology, perfect match for the two teams involved. It was just, it told that story. And like you said, it was just, high flying versus, I'm just going to try and beat you up. Or, we're just going to outmuscle you. We're just going to pick you up and throw you around. But you was like, you got to catch us first, mate.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dudes. So FutureShock go forward. So obviously, you're still training at FutureShock. That's your home, that's your house. You mentioned obviously broadening your horizons, getting out and about. Again, I speak to so many people and they sort of say, they kind of swear by, they've got their house, they've got their home, they've got the school kind of thing, but they kind of say the benefits of just every now and again just going out and about, going to a different school, kind of sort of seeing, what's on, not what's on offer, but what kind of nuggets of information they can get from elsewhere.
Yeah.
So if that's something that you guys are, planning road trips at some point or just, traveling around.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. It's like we ventured out to New Wave. This was quite a bit ago now, to be fair. And we both turned around and said it's probably one of the best training sessions we've ever had. Just in the sense of obviously Flash Morgan Webster and his psychology in wrestling and his experience as well. It was one of them where even got like me and Dex to stare at each other for 2 minutes straight in the ring without laughing. And it was horrible. But then when he explained it and, told us why he made us do that, it then just made so much sense in like a wrestling way. Even just in like a normal way of trying to hold that face, even when you're wrestling your mates and, trying to be professional and trying to still hold that little grudge, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Tell the story. Like I said, you don't want to be in the middle of a match and then just burst out laughing or just smile at each other. Because as fans would be like, oh, okay, yeah. Suspension of disbelief. Again, it's little things like that again, until you said that, I wouldn't even have thought about it. It's that kind of, like I said, it's the psychology. It's learning that from people. That's got to be, and I say, you still haven't hit like the 2-year mark on the journey yet. So there's still, it's crazy, just like the trajectory you guys have had since day one to now, but there's still so much more to go. Learning wise, title wise, success wise.
Yeah, 100%.
But so different schools, the psychology, that's what always kind of gets me, especially in tag team. That's why I think, I again, if anybody asks, for me, a great tag team match is better than a great singles match. I'm more of a fan of the tag team's side of things because you can tell more stories, you can tell more, you've got more moments to be told. But that's got to put more pressure on you, knowing that there's more things you can do. You've got to do them, kind of thing. From my uneducated opinion, is it harder to work a tag team match than a singles match?
See,
I enjoy a tag match a lot more.
Yeah,
I enjoy the tag. There is a lot more moving parts that you got to think about.
That's what I meant. So that's why I thought it's harder to do the tag. Yeah, so there's more things that can go wrong. There's more things to do. There's more people involved.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's like a big factor though, having more people in it and trying to give everyone, specific things to do and make sure no one's left out, but make sure no one's too included. Which one you kind of want to give the fans, obviously, again, peeling the curtain back a little bit. You kind of want to give the fans more, of everyone rather than just one person. But back to your point of obviously singles matches and tag matches, I feel like for us now, because we are tag team specialists now in that sense, I feel like tag matches are a lot more easier. But then, when we get the opportunities to do little singles stuff, I find it a lot more harder to then be like, oh, what singles stuff do I do? And then trying to put your singles stuff into that singles match rather than thinking of it being a tag match again.
Yeah, you can't. You don't have the hot tag to coming in to sort of to do those things. You've kind of got to incorporate them in a different way.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
that's the psychology.
Yeah, Deck's not reaching for me. I'm not reaching for Deck. It's just more of a I'm against one guy. I need to now run stuff on him rather than let Deck run his stuff, or rather than Deck let me run my stuff. This is about me now in a singles. So, like I said, it's just about implementing, in a sense, your tag stuff into your own stuff.
Mm-hmm. And not being able to have that rest, I guess that's a massive, uneducated viewpoint kind of thing. But that's got to be one of the benefits of tags as well, is that you can 5 minutes. Obviously still, you still got to get the audience going. You're still on edge. You're still on the ringside, but you can kind of catch your breath for a couple of minutes and then go again. In singles, it must just be like, shit, man, I need to up my cardio.
Yeah, that's like, I think that's one of the worst things of singles matches but even any tag match, it doesn't really matter. I feel like you're still constantly on the go. I understand, when a hot tag's happening and the one who's took the heat, just lie there and kind of have a minute to themselves, but you're still in front of a crowd. You're still trying to sell in front of a crowd. You don't just lay there after taking about 5-10 minutes of heat and then be like, I am fine. I'm just, trying to breathe. Whereas, you're still trying to be on that sell, which yet again comes into the thing of tag matches from a singles perspective being harder, because there's still fans' eyes on you even when you're not in the ring. So it's just about working everyone and making sure everyone's seeing what's happening and making sure, and like I say, for kids, believing is like the main thing of professional wrestling, really, for a fan.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because you've still got to be, even if you're still on the ringside, on the apron, you're still waiting. You're still on edge because you're still part of that match. Anything can happen. So you don't get to relax. It's just as calm as it can be in that situation, kind of thing. It's like, right. But obviously now, you're part of the biz. You're there. I'm always interested as well whether you still get a chance to enjoy it as fans. Do you only ever go to a show now when you're booked, or do you manage to still get to shows and watch other people as fans, or just or you just constantly in learning mode? Are you just kind of there taking notes when you're watching matches, being like, they fucked up. I can steal that.
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit of both, really. Being, like you said, we're in the business now. It's one of them where if someone messes up in a match, we're going to notice it, but the fans wouldn't. But then sometimes, you're able to kind of sit back and watch it and enjoy it. It's like when I was at Infinite, I got to watch Trent Seven versus Joseph Connors. Yet again, two staples of NXT UK. And, I kind of then got to sit back and watch it and kind of be a fan in that sense. I also got to go to AEW at the back end of last year and enjoy it as a fan. So it's still nice, but it's still one of them again where it's like which I hate, but we still notice the little things that go wrong.
Yeah.
So I feel like that kind of ruins it for me. I'm going to presume that's the same. It kind of ruins it as like a fan's point of view for us. But yet again, like I said, it's 50-50. We get to enjoy it, but then we get to critique it as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, obviously, Deck, I presume you so same. Did you get to AEW as well, or?
No, I didn't. I haven't been. I can't remember the last time I've actually been to a show. But I do watch a lot on YouTube and subscribe and stuff. But I do It's a bit of both. It depends. It depends what time of day it is. If it's 4:20, I enjoy it a lot more as a fan. If it's not, it's a pain to watch sometimes because I'm constantly thinking about, okay, if I was in, what would I be doing? What can I steal? What can I take? But if it's a certain time, I enjoy it so much as a fan. It's insane.
It's just more of a highlight.
Yeah.
But that's cool. I mean, Harvey, you pointed out there, like you said, as a fan, I've had this conversation with people. They've been talking to me after, like a show or a match. And I messed up this bit, and I was like, mate, I had no idea. As a fan, we've got no idea. Unless a wrestler physically stops and face palms. As fans, we ain't got a clue. Like it could be part of the match. We're not we're not trained to see these things. But yeah, I can kind of imagine it being a little bit annoying where you just kind of sat there and be like, oh yeah, you should have done this with his feet, or yeah, that didn't land right. It'd just be like, just being able to turn that off sometimes must be nice. That's the biggest compliment you can give to a match. Like I said, Joseph Connors versus Trent Seven, mate, you can just switch off. You just become a fan again.
Yeah, 100%.
I always know it's a good match when a wrestler tells me it's a good match, because it's kind of like, I know they're telling me as a fan, and it's just like, oh shit, but if they approve, then just as a normal human being, I'm gonna mock the shit out. I'm gonna be like, that's amazing. It's like, yeah, there we go. So, if a wrestler says your match is good, biggest compliment, I presume.
Yeah, no, it's always nice. Like I said before, coming backstage and having people say, "Oh, that was good. I enjoyed that." But yet again, it's also nice to get feedback, because I feel like not a lot of people will give you feedback, if this makes sense. So, you'll come back, you have a lot of people tell you your match was good, but it's like, it weren't great though, was it? Why would tell me, like, I'd rather get feedback. Because I feel like some people are kind of shy, even if people aren't as experienced. I'd rather hear someone's point of view of how they saw the match. Because you take everyone's point of view. It's like at training, for example. When we're with Sam or when we're with Chris, like, and they've done a sequence or we've watched a match, they kind of open the floor to everyone else as like the trainees, to give their point of view to the feedback. And I think that's a good thing to do, to allow your peers to give you a bit of their advice and see how they saw things.
Yeah, man. It's because obviously you're not going to get better if everybody tells you everything's great. You're just going to become really sort of like you're going to start coasting. And if somebody points out it was good, but maybe try this, maybe try that, that gives you something to work on, which is then when you get better.
Yeah,
100%.
It's just been able to, again, various people, various conversations. I know a lot of people that I like to sort of say that, I'm lucky enough to have spoken to a lot of very cool people, open people that they want the feedback. They understand that if somebody's giving them feedback, it's not to be gnarly, it's not to be a dick about it, it's to help them improve, it's to be constructive, it's to be like, you know what, yeah, but try this. You don't have to do it. It might not work, but yeah, try this or try this. It just, you're only going to get better, but you've got to be open to that feedback.
Yeah.
And don't take offense. Don't throw your dummy out the pram and be like, nope, you don't know what you're talking about. Do one. I'm great.
Yeah.
100%.
Especially when it's Chris and Sam, guys like that telling you as well, because it's kind of like, yeah, they definitely know what they're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
So Chris still running his because I can't remember, I spoke to about a year or so ago. Somebody was telling me, they've got the famous Chris Ridgway sort of just fucking marathon 5-minute routine running drill thing, and if you're not chucking up afterwards, mate, you're not doing it right.
Yeah, he started doing these like dojo sessions. So obviously it's from what he learned in Japan. He's kind of brought it back to us. We've done the odd one or two, but it's grueling to say the least.
I can't remember who it was now, but yeah, they were just sort of saying, there's like, no, they even faked an injury one time. There's like, no, Chris, I ain't doing it. No, I can't do it. I've hurt my ankle. So no, Chris, I'm out. I'm tapped. Just the thought of running these routines for like, no, I'm just going to go sit in the corner. I'm not having this. But knowing Chris, based on like what he's learned in Noah and stuff like that. But again, it's just that source of information. Being around those guys, there's no downside to it. It's just going to make you better.
Yeah.
So obviously going forward, FutureShock and the titles, everything like that. Again, I know I asked you about tag teams over here, shows over here. Again, like I said, getting on the road, coming over. As a wrestling fan in Yorkshire, I don't get to see enough of like the 05. I've seen Act 2 a few times at True Grit, thankfully. Quintessentials, those guys, man. I just need you all to jump in a car. We need kind of like a War of the Roses or something, like the Northwest Invades Yorkshire or something like that, and just have you guys come over and just have a little invasion of the Yorkshire areas.
That would be good.
That'd be a cool storyline. We'll all put two for a massive minivan.
Come over.
Yeah, exactly. I'll drive it. We'll paint it and everything. We'll pack the boys in and we'll be on our way to you.
I've just got you driving it now and deck out the window carrying like a red Yorkshire rose, or red Yorkshire rose, so red Lancashire rose kind of thing. Like, that's it. We're going. I remember talking to DJ King about this ages ago. I was kind of like just trying to street talk him and Tidal. And I think it was this close to happening with like Infamous. We were going to invade Tidal, or they were going to turn up. DJ King was going to bring some boys over to a Tidal show at some point. I was like, yes, come on. I remember talking about you guys and be like, the 05 versus the Freak Show, or Ace Matthews as Chase the Ace were tag team champs at the time. I was like, man, Chase the Ace versus the 05. That'd be boss.
That would be good.
So, but fingers crossed. Again, as a wrestling fan, I just fantasy book all this random shit, and it's just kind of like, oh man, if that ever happens, that'd be amazing. So, but dream matches, the 05. Rocking up in Yorkshire, but that's the thing though. Obviously, sorry, I'm just babbling now. But you guys are building that reputation. That's the point I'm getting at. Is you guys are now building that reputation where I saw it with Act 2 last year, or it might have been a couple of years now, where Act 2 turned up and took on Crashboat. Crashboats were tag team champs at the time. Act 2 got a title shot, and nobody questioned it. It was kind of a case of like this team that nobody's seen before in Yorkshire at True Grit can turn up, but the fans know who they are. Their reputation preceded them. I think you guys are kind of getting, in that situation now as well, where like if a Yorkshire promotion announced the 05 were challenging the tag team champions for the belts, as fans, we wouldn't second guess it. We'd be like, fuck yeah. You know what I mean? It's like this team deserves it based on what they've done elsewhere. So yeah, again, that's just, I don't know, me giving you guys a compliment that you've now got this reputation.
No, of course.
It's real cool.
Yeah.
You could turn up and you would be considered, number one contenders in any promotion kind of thing.
Yeah, again, that's a nice feeling, to hear it off you as well. It's I feel like it's kind of shows what work we've been doing behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Of trying to get ourselves out there, socials, interactions with different wrestlers and different promoters as well. So, for you to be, not in the Northwest, but still be saying that from, in Yorkshire, it's nice to hear, it's one of them where we'd come to Yorkshire and, get a warm welcome in that sense of if we was face, but obviously if we was heel, then, absolutely give it us. But yeah, no, it is cool.
But yeah, again, it's something like you're working on, and again, not to kind of repeat myself, but you're still not even 2 years into the journey. So to kind of have this reputation, I kind of feel like I'm just not overhyping you, but it's just I'm just compliment after compliment. But it's just I'm not saying anything that's not true. It's kind of like you guys have worked really hard. You've got this reputation built up now. And it's got to be, I don't know, man, are you feeling that sense? You sensing that kind of energy, that positivity? You guys kind of, not to get too big-headed about it or, cocky about it, but are you guys kind of aware now that you're established as a tag team and a known tag team?
It's one of those imposter syndrome things, I feel like, where it's nice to hear, but I don't necessarily feel like I am, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, it's like every time I see myself on a graphic, it feels like I shouldn't be on the graphic. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, dude, I've heard that from imposter syndrome is like one of the, but it blows my mind. Like when like hearing you say it is crazy. Like I've heard like various other people say it. It's just kind of like, man, yeah, not it's just I understand it, but it's I can say you're not going to believe it, but it'd be like, yeah, but it's totally unfounded. As fans, we're not looking at you like imposters. We're looking at you like, man, this team's amazing. This team's awesome. You fully deserve everything. But I know you're not going to hear that, and you're still going to be, be like, I do it with you. I'm kind of sat here talking to you guys, like, why the fuck am I talking to you guys? Why are you guys talking to me? That's my imposter syndrome. But yeah, you do have that reputation. But man, we talked about it before. You've been in the ring with Christy, Hemme, Melina. You've got like Paige talking to you. RVD's been rubbing shoulders with you backstage, and it's kind of like that shit wouldn't happen if you wasn't meant to be there.
Yeah, it's a weird one. Yet again, like I said, imposter syndrome comes in big time. It's like with merch sales as well. Like I feel like seeing people wearing our shirts with our faces on, our logos on, it's crazy. It's like, yeah, again, it's like a little childhood dream, of having our own merch, our own clothing. It's like we seen a fella in Manchester. This might have been like a year or so ago now. I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the last episode, but he was walking through town. He just so happened to have an 05 shirt on, and it was on him where I don't think he really noticed us either. But like we noticed him, and it was like, what?
Just pinching yourself like, yep, no, we are professional wrestlers. People do buy up. Yep. Oh shit.
It's like we both walked past him. We was both like tapping each other like that, saying, "What?"
Thing is, though, if the guy saw you, it'd probably be like, "Oh, they look like the 05. It can't be the 05, but they look like the 05." And like, just totally straight over his head. Then like, it would have got home and been like, "Fuck, that was the 05. Damn it!" I was wearing the t-shirt as well. And it's again, as a fan, we see you. If I ever see you guys out and about, I was like, I'll sort of say it. I'll apologize to him on here. So I was at a show recently, like Rogan came over, and he came over and he had like his casual clothes on, he had glasses on. He came over to say hi, and I was just kind of looking at him like, and he's like, "Do you know who I am?" I was like, in my head, I'm like, that dude looks like Rogan. He can't be Rogan. He wouldn't be at the same place I am right now. I'm just like, I'm nowhere. Like I'm in Batley. That can't be Rogan. It looks like him though. And he's like, "It's Rogan." I was like, bollocks. But obviously he kind of didn't take offense, but he jokes, been like, I said, "I'm never saying hi again." It's like, mate, I didn't want to say you as Rogan because why would it be you? But then I was like, bollocks. Yeah, I've just offended him now by looking like I don't know who it is. But yeah, so as a fan, we kind of look at you guys and be like, "Nah, it can't be. Nah, it's somebody that looks like him."
Yeah, no, like even if we're out and about, like it'd be nice if like people see us and even come up to us. Like I understand people might think it's a bit like, oh no, I want to leave you to it, give you your own space. But even if like we was in Manchester and someone just come up to us and said hello, it'd be like, I think it's more cool for us than it is for the fan. Like, and it's a weird one to be recognised in public without being in a wrestling surrounded, area, or being at a show, or being at a signing, or anything like that, and being stopped in public by a fan. It's good, man.
That's something ticked off the list. But yeah, like I say, from a fan's perspective, it's just kind of like, I wouldn't want to go up to you and be like, "Oh, it's your 5 years." Just look at me like, "No." I'm like, "Oh, sorry, you just look like someone else." Really, like, and then I'd walk off like really sheepish. I just imagine you two guys being like, "The fuck is this guy?" I'm like, "Yeah, sorry, my bad."
That's bad.
And plus, as fans, we're not used to seeing you guys fully clothed.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think I said this, but it was like seeing I think it was at Wrestle Island because obviously I hadn't been there myself before, so I was looking at people who like was in our match, and I was like, "You don't look like your graphic. Like, is that you?" And it was all to the point where I had to kind of just look at the faces and be like, "Oh, maybe it is," and kind of like blank out the clothing.
Yeah, okay. Imaginary nipples. Yeah, that's them. Okay, fair enough. But no, it's just it's amazing. Like I said, the whole imposter syndrome. For what it's worth, I said it before. I'll say it again. I'll say it 100 times. You guys wouldn't be where you are now if you wasn't as good as you are, put the effort that you have in, worked as hard as you have, and obviously people are picking up on that and acknowledging that, and sort of just how good the 05 are. It's mind blowing. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but it's just kind of like, dude, I can't say it enough. It's not. It needs to sort of settle in, or you need to kind of acknowledge it and just be like, oh man, yeah, we're awesome. So I'm not going to be happy until I hit you produce you guys just kind of say like, you know what, yeah, we're fucking awesome. We rock.
Hell yeah.
I appreciate that. Nice to hear.
But yeah, so as you sort of said, we're in. I have to keep checking because we're in April. Yes, we are in April. Fucking weeks, days, months fly by. So yeah, 1/3 of the way through the year. Anything lined up? Any big matches coming up? That's been no spoilers or anything. I don't want to get into trouble. But is there anything that I've probably missed? Any matches coming up that you guys want to talk about?
So there's nothing out in the open yet. These big things lined up, to say the least. I'll leave it there. But yeah, nothing that's out in the open as of yet.
Right, this is where I kind of like try and keep on top of the socials and share what I can share. But this is like, right, okay, I know it's extra hard now. Right, we'll keep an eye on the 05 socials. Let's see what gets announced at any given point. That's the thing as well, like obviously with what happens at FutureShock, it could be anything. That's the thing. I'm kind of sat there and be like, if it's FTM again, still awesome. That's great. I'll pop for that. If it's somebody new, if it's a different team, if it's the 05 making their Wrestle Island debut at the next show, because as Harvey says, next time he turns up, he's not going to be alone. Man, that's going to be like, I'm trying to think if Island have got tag titles. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if they've got, I should know this. My mind's gone.
They haven't at the minute, but I'm hoping, and I'll push for this, to get some.
Yes, I will push alongside. I will second that. I think every promotion should have a tag team division, should have tag team titles. And if they don't, that was the awesome thing about Infamous last year when they did that tournament, to crown, again, I said it before, love tag team wrestling. If a promotion doesn't have a tag team title, man, they can still be awesome, but they can definitely level up and they need tag team titles.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
That's it then. That's it. We want a tournament. Wrestle Island. Peter, if you're listening, mate, sort it out. We want a tag team tournament. Winner takes all. First ever Wrestle Island Tag Team Champions. Would look nice on the 05. I'm sure Quintessential will feel the same. I'm sure PTM and VGS will feel the same. But as fans, it's winner for us. We get to see all these awesome matches.
Yeah, I feel like 05 2 belts, has a nice little ring to it. So just
05 3 belt as a veteran. 4 belts.
There you go.
5 belts.
Let's just keep going. I want to look like Act 2 by the end of the year. Do you know what I mean? Act 2 had this crazy little picture they posted where their arms, their bodies are absolutely filled with belts. It's unreal.
Right, you know what we can do better? We'll just cover just over the heads. Just you can't even see skin. Just outdo them. So I'm pretty sure they'll have had their faces on show. So just full on mummy effect with belts.
100%.
Fully wrapped. Get Brendan Fraser after you. Like, yes, there we go. So that's a really old film reference. I do apologise. Damn, I feel old. But yeah, that's going forward. That's the plan. Obviously, talked about socials. Again, I know really hit and miss with some people. But as your momentum's building up, is it something that you kind of thinking that you kind of need to lean into? Do you want to start, doing, obviously, like advertising shows that you're coming up onto, showing footage of matches that you've had. Because again, I know it's really Marmite. I know socials are kind of like this hit and miss thing, but for me, from my perspective, I'm looking at it like it's free advertising.
Yeah, genuinely, 100%. It's again, it plays a big role in wrestling, and especially for us now as well, especially trying to get out of the Northwest and advance further in the UK. I feel like socials, especially in this day and age as well, socials play a huge part on gaining more fans, gaining more popularity. It's like, look at Tommy Invincible as a big example of social media. Like before, the past few years, me personally, I don't know if anyone else did, but I didn't know Tommy Invincible. He started doing social media and posting these videos that went absolutely viral. Then he'd have, talk shows talking about him. And then he got, tens of thousands of followers just out of nowhere. And that's through the power of social media. Richard Holiday. Obviously, then if you're looking at training, PPW, like, they are massive on social media, and like everything they post and all the reactions, and every like the audience they bring in is insane.
So we need the 05 account. Whether because that's the thing as well. It must be hard though, kind of differentiating from like the wrestling profiles to your personal profiles kind of thing. Obviously, you don't want to post everything on your personals, but then you don't want to put the personal stuff on the wrestling stuff. So it's kind of like finding that. I run two accounts. I run my own and work the left sides again now. That's come back to me. So I'm kind of trying to run two accounts. And man, it's fucking mind blowing. Sometimes I'll be posting something, I'm like, shit, it's the wrong account. I need to swap it to the other one. But yeah, if you guys had like the 05 Instagram account, just kind of take that edge off it and just like it's just wrestling. Like say, you could just put match highlight reels on there and stuff like that. If you ever wanted any doing, just ask. But yeah, that's the get out there, making that connection with people.
Yeah, but like you say, the 05 Instagram account would be good, but I feel like for us, me and Deck, we haven't got any massive gimmick. Like we are just me and Deck. I am Harvey, that's Deck. We are the 05. So whether you like us or not, our personalities in the ring and out the ring stay the same. So I feel like having just one account, obviously Deck having his own, me having my own, it's a mix of personal and wrestling, but that is literally just because of that is who we are. We're not private people. We're kind of like, this is us, this is what we do, this is what we do outside of the ring, this is what we do in the ring.
Nice. I was thinking for my part, if I ever tag you guys in, I'm just like, so much easier if there's just an 05 account. I'll just tag 05 Bosh. There we go. Highlight. Invite him for a cheeky little collab. There we go. Bosh, jobs are good. But no, dude. Like I say, it's just I was kind of curious about how it kind of works for you guys. Well, not you guys, but wrestlers as a whole, kind of thing. Because it's just you embrace it, you not embrace it. Is it for me? It's like sort of say PPW. Those guys, it's such an easy way to get out there, but it kind of like. I don't know. Yeah, it's just sorry, man. I'm just kind of thinking. I can imagine that at some point in the future, wrestling schools having social media classes, kind of thing. Like the correct way to work it, the correct way to market yourself, get the brand out there. Not the brand of the tag team, obviously just retired, but you guys, your product, and yeah,
100%.
But yeah, going forward, as I sort of said, I will keep an eye on the socials. I will keep an eye on what you guys announce. I'm looking forward to these big matches that you've kind of just teased that I'm really kind of like, oh shit, man, I really want to know what's going on now. But yeah, so defending the tag team titles, obviously key going forward, winning more tag team titles, getting draped in gold and silver and just looking bling. Anything else you guys kind of, I don't want to ask if you've got like a list that you want to get ticked off, but is there anything you kind of like, you want to do or you kind of look excited for?
Start ticking off countries in Europe. That's what I want to
start with. Yes, sir.
I want to. Maybe it's too bold, but maybe by the end of the year, I want to do another country. Failing that, I want to at least get out of the Northwest and start that side of the journey.
We're not going to fail that. It's happening this year. The 05 are going to be in Europe. Let's get that out there now. The 05 will be in Europe. Even if we just go on holiday together, the 05 will be in Europe.
Do swantons into the swimming pool in Tenerife.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, we're not including Wales and Scotland. Not to besmirch them, but they don't count. No. Right, cool.
Outside of the UK.
There we go. So imagine you just be like, oh, the 05 at attack. Hang on a minute. That's but so Northern Ireland, no. Republic of Ireland, bosh. Get booked in Dublin. That'll be all right.
That'll be good.
Guys, thank you so much. Obviously, I said I'd keep you for about an hour, which I've done. I've waffled on more than I should have done. Guys, thank you so much. If you want to let people know where they can hit you up on the socials, as mentioned before, so they can kind of see what you've got coming up, see these big announcements when they get made.
Yeah.
Deck, do you want to go first?
My Instagram handle is deckhenry_, and I think it's the same on Twitter. I'm pretty sure it's the same on Twitter and Threads, and they're the only socials that I have.
Mr. Harvey.
I'm on Instagram at HarveyJukes_. Also on Twitter, or X, as you know, I want to call it now, is HarveyJukes_ as well. We've just started a little TikTok account as well called the 05 Pro Res. We'll just kind of throw that out there now. We've got a video on there already. We're going to start posting a lot more on there as well. So get following.
There you go, CC, an 05 social media account, TikTok. Yes, there we go. Bosh. That's it. Jobs are good. And something I need to get back on with TikTok. I was kind of scared by TikTok. I'm just kind of like, I think I'm going to get to see loads of random people dancing or doing dance routines. Like, nope, not happening. Obviously, everybody who's watched this, thank you so much for watching. Obviously, 05 in the house, amazing chat, amazing guys. If you see them on a show near you, go buy a ticket, go buy t-shirt, support your local promotion, support your local talents, support British wrestling. If you can't get to a show, subscribe to promotions on YouTube, get them the views, get people talking about it. Obviously, thank you for watching this. Hit like, subscribe, share, comment, all the generic stuff we ask you to do. Keep your eyes peeled. We've got Gung Ho Motley coming up on Wednesday to talk about films. We're off to the cinemas again, talking films with Gung Ho Motley, and lots of other still cool stuff coming up. Got Saxa Cup returning in a few weeks as well. Keep your eyes peeled for that. And thank you, gentlemen. It has been a genuine pleasure. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, mate. Cheers.
That's right. And everybody else, remember, always work the left side. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.